Welcome to Superhero Entertainments. My name is Ian Gordon. I'm not Lex Luthor. In this introductory lecture, I'll do two things. Tell you what the course is about and what it's going to examine, and explain how the course is organized. By the end of this lecture, you should have a basic understanding of what the course is about, why superhero entertainments, why superheroes, the structure of the course, what you will need to do, quizzes and a paper, and what you will learn in the course. So, why superhero entertainments? Just what do I mean by superhero entertainments? I use superhero entertainments to cover the many forms in which we are entertained by superheroes. For instance, comic books, of course, and films. But other forms spring to mind, such as television, radio, comic strips, and animated cartoons. Once comic books were the way most people encountered superheroes. Now films are the way most people see superheroes. So in a sense, this course is about why and how a shift occurred from comic books to films. Let me just stop and draw your attention to that statement. It is a key point. Throughout the course, I will highlight key points for you. Key point 1. Why and how a shift occurred from comic books to films as the way superheroes are seen by most people. Hold on to this point because it tells you what the overall purpose of this course is, explaining this shift. But why should we care about this change? Why should we care about superheroes? Most of you are probably doing this course because you are interested in superheroes. When we are interested in a subject, we sometimes forget that not everybody is as interested as we are. And sometimes we forget to explain why the subject is important. This is what academics call the so what question. That means, why should anybody be interested in the subject? Why should anybody care about superheroes? There are several answers to this question, but let me give you just two broad ways to think about the issue of why superheroes. The economic answer. Superheroes are a billion-dollar business. I always think I should do that when I say that. There's another answer, the cultural answer. If we understand why people enjoy superhero entertainments, we can understand something about their culture. As we move through the course, I will give you some details about the economics of superheroes. When I say economics, I mean simply how superhero entertainments make money and how much they make. I will also talk about the cultural aspects. But all of you taking the course will already know something about these cultural issues. And here I come to a key point. Key point 2. Your own experience with superheroes will tell you something about their cultural importance. You should think about that experience and use it in this course. I'll come back to this point, but let me tell you a little about my own experience with superheroes as a way to help you reflect on your experience. I grew up in Australia. You may not be able to tell that from my accent, but if I say, "G'day mate," you can probably tell. When I grew up, I watched a TV show called The Adventures of Superman. I first saw superheroes either in black and white reprints of DC comic books or in this television show. These episodes of this show were shown on Australian television from the 1950s through to the 1970s. I can't remember when I first saw superhero comic books because it was so long ago. But the crucial point is that in Australia, I could read American comic books and I could watch an American television series. There are two key points here. Key point 3. All the superheroes we talk about in this course are American. Key point 4. When you think about your own experience with superheroes, where you live may play an important part. Okay, let's move on to the structure of the course. There are 8 modules for the course. These are outlined on the syllabus, but here they are again. Origin of superheroes. The original superheroes: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, and the rest. Superheroes across mediums, 1938 to 1958. You can tell I'm a historian, I have to date things. Superhero resurgence, 1956 to 1986. Superheroes on screen, DC characters in TV and movies. Making movies the Marvel way, authors and fans, and satires and send-ups. Okay, what will you learn in the course? At the conclusion of the course, you will have an understanding of the origin of comic book superheroes, how superheroes made a transition from comics to other mediums, how superheroes became blockbuster films, the cultural significance of superheroes with a particular reference to your own culture. I've divided up each of the modules into parts or lessons. For each lesson there'll be a video. The length and number of the videos will vary depending on what I cover in a session. For each module, the total time of all the videos for the module will be no more than 1 hour. For this first module, there are 4 videos. You are currently watching video 1.1, Why Superhero Entertainments. Each video is labeled as such. So Module 1 has 4 videos. They are Why Superhero Entertainments, Comics and Beyond. You're watching it now. 1.2, Origins, the development of comic strips. 1.3, Origins, the development of pulps and science fiction. And 1.4, the origin of comic books. At the beginning of each module, I will give you the breakdown of the module and the number of videos. So in the video lesson 2.1, Superheroes, The Rise, I'll give you the exact number of videos for that module. Okay, what will you need to do in this course? You'll need to watch the video lessons, take 4 quizzes, write 1 short paper, and peer assess 3 to 5 short papers. Let's talk about the quiz. There are 4 quizzes for the course. The quizzes will be multiple choice. Each quiz will have a maximum of 10 questions. The quizzes will be held after Module 2, Module 4, Module 6, and Module 8. The quizzes will help you check what you have learned and help you to check factual knowledge based on the video lesson. Here is a sample quiz question. It doesn't count and it's easy. Okay, what do you need to do for your paper? You need to write 1 short 500-word paper for this course. That paper is due 1 week after you have completed Module 6. The topic of the paper is your favorite superhero, you can insert the name, is in fact the best superhero ever, and you need to defend your answer. Here I'm coming back to my key point 2, your own experience. There is a rubric guide for the paper on the course page. Here are some of the details. We'll use peer assessment to evaluate the paper based on this rubric. You'll need to peer assess several fellow students' papers. Before we end this lecture, please note the 4 key points. Review your notes and go back over the video lesson to ensure you have those 4 key points noted. In this lecture, I will recap these points for you, but here's a tip. You'll learn better if you take the time to write down the key points as you watch the lesson. And by write down, I mean use a pen and paper, or a pencil and paper to do so. Pause the lesson video and write. The cognitive processes involved in looking, remembering, and writing will strengthen your memory. But here are the points again. Key point 1. Why and how a shift occurred from comic books to film as the way superheroes are seen by most people. Key point 2. Your own experience with superheroes will tell you something about their cultural importance. You should think about that experience and use it in this course. Key point 3. All the superheroes we talk about in this course are American. And key point 4, when you think about your own experience with superheroes, where you live might play an important part. So in this lesson, I've given you an introduction of what to expect in the course in terms of the topics and workload. If you have any comment, post them in the forum. While I may not be able to read everything and to answer everything, I'll attempt to read as much as I can. I'm sure you'll have valuable discussion with your peers, and this will be a very informative experience. Coming up next, the origins of superheroes in comic strips. Move on to lesson 1.2.